You're not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Welcome to Coaching from the Couch, live from the WBGR Sports Network studio. I am your host, CWall. Welcome. It is Thursday, and you get to deal with me for the next 30 minutes. First things first, I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas this week. I know sometimes the holidays are a little dicey for some folks, and it's not as cheery for a variety of reasons, but I do pray and hope that you had a safe and blessed and wonderful day, and you got to at least relax and spend time with family and friends and just hopefully enjoy yourself and do one of the things or many of the things that you love to do on this past Christmas day. I got my Christmas colors on, so I'm still wearing my Christmas colors. So, I'm trying to be in the spirit a little bit. But at any rate, I have guests in the studio. I always now have just a couple of good, either my CWall team members, also our friends and what have you. They're always in the studio. So I have Joy and Sabrina are here today. And my mama is here today. And she probably not going to get, or she's not going to get up out of that chair. I don't think. Who knows? She might. But my mother is here in the studio with me, visiting me. So, hey, Mom. Hello. She's a little Cowboys fan. She a fan of nuts. You don't know who she a fan of. She don't know. Last time she said something about the Cowboys, she wanted to know where Tony Romo was. So that just goes to show how much she knows. But so happy to have her here with me. That's why I'm smiling so bright today. So, may as well smile bright, because I have to now, for the rest of this day, figure out what I'm going to talk about as it relates to DC sports. Now, every week now, you probably hear me say there's never a dull moment in DC sports. And I'm always hoping that there's a moment of peace and tranquility, for at least a few days. When I see you one Thursday, I'm like, hey, let's just hold on to hope. That's just the ongoing theme here. We're going to hold on to hope, and we're just going to hope for the best and just, keep each other lifted, because it's difficult in this city most weeks. This week was no different. So, I know that the Caps are playing right now. I think the Nats did something today. The Nats brought on a new pitcher. The Wizards, I don't think I'm going to even get to them today, because all I got to say about the Wizards is I can tell Bradley Beal is a little sick of y'all. And so am I, because Bradley Beal be holding on in these interviews. He wants to explode and go clean off on everybody, but he's keeping it together. So I'm not going to talk about all of that. I have to talk about the Redskins. So let's back. I have to fit in a whole lot of information in 30 minutes worth of time. So a week's worth of information. So where should we begin? Let's go to it was a beautiful Saturday in Nashville, Tennessee last Saturday. At least the pictures looked nice, and other people said that it was a lovely, lovely day. Redskins Nation was in full force for the Redskins versus Titans game. At the time, the Redskins still had a shot to get a wild card playoff spot. They still had a chance, right? So you watch the game, right? At least where from my vantage point, this is what I was doing. I'm gonna tell you where I was at this time. So I had to be at Capital One Arena in preparation for the Wizards Phoenix Suns game. So I was watching the game down at Cap One. And I watched as much of it as I could. And I watched the game up until that phenomenal, what was it, 17 plays, 93-yard. It was a 10-minute drive that ended in a Redskins touchdown, which was arguably the best drive that the Redskins had pulled off all season long. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, Jay Gruden just did what I thought he was totally incapable of doing. And that was pulling off a drive of that caliber with their fourth starting quarterback in this season. Right? So I'm like, I'm going to walk off from this game because I got things to do. But I'm going to keep checking on it, check my phone, talk to my Redskins, friends, and see what's going on. So things were looking up. The defense was looking like the defense that they were earlier in the season. I start seeing posts and alerts about Blaine Gabbert. And I said, Blaine Gabbert? Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Because, we got all types of quarterbacks on the Redskins now. So I had to think, where's Blaine Gabbert today? I don't know. He's not a Redskin. Okay, all right. So he must be a Titan. All right. So what happened to Marcus Mariota? Marcus Mariota got hurt, and I never, ever, ever want to see any player get hurt. Let's be clear about that before I say this next statement. However, I said, ooh, Blaine Gabbert in there? Oh, the Redskins about to win. I can't believe it. Oh, my gosh. So I was high on hope at that moment, which didn't last long. Because I quickly started seeing the tone of Redskins Nation changing as the game continued to go on. And I thought myself, oh, dear God, we're getting ready to lose to Blaine Gabbert. As things were looking up, somehow it's all going to all go down. And it did. The Redskins lost that game. Several missed opportunities on the defensive side of the ball, and we all know that Josh Johnson, bless his heart, Josh Johnson threw a pick, which could be, was it his fault? Was it Josh Doxson's fault? Either way, it resulted in an interception, and the Redskins are now officially eliminated from the playoffs. Now, this is all I got to tell you a story. It has to start right there. So now we're at Saturday evening, and the Redskins are now officially eliminated from the playoffs. Now, before we get into all of the negative things that happened, in my opinion at least, that happened after this loss, I really do, I want to take a moment to focus on the positive things that happened in that game. Josh Johnson is going to stay on my list of good news stories. Why? Because I probably played football since he played it. It's like, I probably played a game since he played the game. And he's come out there with such energy, and like he has not missed a beat. And I just, I was rooting for him. Like I said, the week prior, I said, you know what, Josh Johnson is playing like he really cares, so daggone it, I'm going to care too, because I didn't know where my care was. But Josh Johnson helped me find it. So I'm rooting for him. Still am, and I think that he has earned an opportunity to come back next year to Redskins training camp and play for a roster spot on this team next year for sure. So, good news story. Yes, there was an interception, and that hurt for sure. And I know he's beating himself up about it, but one good thing about it, gotta love his energy. Gotta love the fact that he has a lot of confidence about himself, which you know how I am about confidence. I'm not really about arrogance, but confidence. That confidence swag is a winner. You're gonna win every time with me when you got that confidence. And he has it. The team likes him. They're rooting for him. All great things. So that was a bright spot. Still, several times I smiled while watching him play when I was watching the game. Saw a Ryan Kerrigan sighting, and I was really happy about that because the showstopper Kerrigan, Pro Bowler again, Ryan Kerrigan, and he is on last Saturday 107 consecutive regular season starts. So kudos to Ryan Kerrigan. I need to know what Ryan Kerrigan is eating. I need to be on the Ryan Kerrigan diet because nutrition is a part, of being able to be ready to play in these games. You got 127 consecutive starts. That's a good thing. He been broke down. I mean, I'm trying to, but the longest active streak among NFL linebackers. So kudos to Ryan Kerrigan for that. Dustin Hopkins. Dustin Hopkins has quietly been doing just what he is supposed to do this year. And that's kick field goals and make them. And that might sound like his bare bones, like whatever, who cares? But no, Dustin Hopkins has been consistent. He's played well against somebody who loves being a Washington Redskin and loves putting on the burgundy and gold. So I wanted to shout him out as a bright spot from Saturday's game, at least for me. Another bright spot for me. I saw this in the game notes, in the Redskins-Titans game notes, and I want to share it with you all. It says the Redskins rushed for 161 net yards and have now rushed for more than 100 net yards in 10 games this season. The last time the Redskins rushed for more than 100 yards in 10 or more games was the 2014 season when Washington recorded 10 games in which they rushed for 100 or more yards. So instantly, I said, 2014, that must have been Alfred Morris. So I think I'm right. I didn't check that, but I think that was Alfred Morris. Was here. That tidbit, that fact right there, I said, you know what? Y'all gonna keep hearing me talk about him till I get tired. And it's all right. Thank you, Adrian Peterson. Good grief. Man, those are all his yards. I said, well, I think all of those yards belong to one person. And that is Adrian Peterson. And I'm sure you all have heard all this week. Adrian Peterson has made it very clear that he would love to come back. Listen, it ain't too many people that's talking about they would love to come back here. And that man, please just sign him. Do that. I mean, at least somebody. My gosh. That's a good news story. Adrian Peterson doing what he does, and anybody that thought he didn't have any gas left in the tank, you can go ahead and take them 1,000 yards on this season and chug it, because guess what? I didn't think he was gonna get 1,000 yards either, and I don't mind being honest about that, but our guy did, so kudos to him. My last bright spot from the game came after the game, and yes, I must talk about this. I must just mention it really quick. It was when Taylor Lewin from the Titans had the audacity to bring himself on the Redskins sideline and want to go over there and taunt Josh Norman. And Josh Norman tossed that helmet, and he wasn't having it. Yes, that's one of my bright spots, daggone it. Because I said, that right there is why I like him. That. Don't worry about what he does on the field. That guy right there. That's who I like. But yeah. That was probably just me being goofy, saying that was a bright spot. But hey, he was taking up for himself. Don't nobody come on your sideline. That's trifling. I was happy talking about that. I had a lot of good euphoric emotions when I was talking about that. Now let us come to where it's not so good. After the game, DJ Swearinger I'll just say Pro Bowl alternate safety DJ Swearinger had some comments about the defensive play, and most notably and very specifically the defensive coordinator Greg Minuski. Now, DJ has always been talking. A lot of people think DJ doesn't talk. DJ only talking when they lose. That's not, I know for a fact that it's not true. DJ talks all of the time, okay? And because of his direct and disrespectful, depending on who you ask, comments about the defensive coordinator, DJ was let go. He was released. He's no longer a Washington Redskin. He was actually picked up via on the waiver wire, and he's back with the Arizona Cardinals. And I have to address the DJ Swearinger issue. That's the first thing. I do feel like I need to talk about this because I was very upset when they cut DJ. Yes, it's not a secret that DJ talks a lot. It was also not a secret that DJ had been warned to not talk to the media about his challenges with coaching. What may not have been as clear to DJ was that if you continue to do this, we're going to fire you or we're going to release you. So that was where I got lost in that sauce, because that was Christmas Eve, number one. And number two, I honestly don't think if the Redskins had won that game and were still in playoff contention, I don't think they would have done that. Regardless of them being in playoff contention or not, there's just a way that you do things, and releasing a man on Christmas Eve is not the way, in my opinion, that you handle that. These types of warnings or conversations need to come with more direct disciplinary actions. Perhaps fining DJ, benching DJ, publicly acknowledging he is on the do not talk to list when it comes to media availability. And after you've done those things, hey man, we've tried these. It has not worked for you. Now you gotta go. That's my challenge with, everybody say, well, DJ wasn't even that good. It wasn't like he was this or he was that. Let me tell you something. DJ bought the clothes. He in the safety position, okay, on the Redskins. I'm not talking about league-wide. I'm talking Redskins. DJ was a person that we hadn't had just in character for a very long time. And one of the things that I'm challenged with, and I know it's sports, and I know teams change and they shift, it is consistency. It is consistency, and when you're building something, you can't just throw away pieces and, I'll get somebody else to fix it. There's no consistency there. Now, let me say something. Hey, if they had conducted disciplinary actions along the way, and he continued to do it, because talking don't work for everybody. I'm a person that talking doesn't work for. I'm like, yeah, okay. But you have to do something. My mama tell you, no, you got to do something in order for me to be like, oh, she's serious. Oh, they serious. Oh, my God. So, just telling me don't do something, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. I'm going to do it again next week. So, I'm just being honest. So, you have to understand that when you're talking in an area of unwritten rules, there's just a better way to go about things. Do I think DJ should have aired those comments publicly? Of course not. Was he right? Absolutely. But, because in our family we do have a saying, it's only bad if it ain't true. So it's actually true. But it's still a way that you do things, and he didn't do it the right way. What is the unfortunate part is how it was handled as a result. If DJ was getting on y'all nerves that bad, you should have cut it, let him know from the beginning. Because the other thing about this is, if you didn't want to deal with a DJ Swearinger type of mouth, you shouldn't have never signed him. Because DJ had that same reputation everywhere he's been. So once you bring him here, that means you're taking on that reputation. Don't think they're going to change for you. No. You just got to put a couple different things in place so that it's clear, this won't be tolerated here, and if you continue to break these rules, this is what's going to happen. So I mean, I was sorry to see him go, and I also think that it sends a conflicting message. You can't claim or pick up a player that's accused of or allegedly, beating up his girlfriend or slapping his girlfriend, but is also a repeat offender of nonsense since before he got in the league. You can't, sweep under the rug a player who's had issues, DUIs and other issues with just how he handles his anger. You can't just be dismissive of those things and then be in your feelings and cut somebody that you just don't like, that he just told everybody about you. But who am I? So at any rate, so that was Christmas Eve. I spent all Christmas Eve with my Redskins. Like, that was literally my Christmas Eve. Seriously. Like, once you become in media, that was seriously how I spent. And I was bitter about that. like, look, we can't just have, you're like, seriously? Really? You gonna do this today? Yeah. So, what's today? Thursday. Right. So then the day after Christmas, they gave us some peace on Christmas Day. They thought enough of us, oh my gosh, to give us some peace on Christmas Day. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Great. Day after Christmas. Okay. All the new marketing executives, the head, the business operations, what was his, COO and president of business operations, Brian LaFemina. I had to practice that. Brian LaFemina is no longer with the Redskins. Jake Bye, whom I had several conversations with, I will say that, and was a very nice person, the senior VP of consumer sales and marketing, he resigned. Then we got Steve Ziff, the chief marketing officer, Todd Klein, the chief commercial officer, all gone. These people just got here in May. They had individual media flair, press releases and all types of stuff for them when they got here. These are folks that Dan Snyder was heavily sought after executives that were brought here specifically to change the trajectory of where Redskins as an organization was headed. And they had already started gaining some quick wins. Now, were those quick wins... See, here's where it starts getting challenging, right? Because they were incorporating some quick wins, right? But yes, fan attendance has gone down. Was that their fault? No. I was going to try to find some rational way and some real savvy way to say no, but I couldn't come up with it just that quick. So no, that's not their fault. It's a shame that they weren't able to, in a safe place, tell the truth about the state of the Redskins organization. I think that is very unfortunate. Let me also say, as a business owner and as just a person anyway, nobody wants to hear that their crap stinks. Nobody wants to hear that. However, if you are concerned about getting better, you have to listen to it so you can understand how to be transformative in your thinking and in your approach. It's the only way you're going to win in the long term. You have to have some tough conversations. You got to have some tough skin. And it wasn't like these guys were out here airing the Redskins' dirty laundry. But let's be clear, we're very well aware that things are not right with the organization. And you see it and you hear about it way before they got here, and then you see things that have happened, and still with the decision making from the team, and so that's why people weren't coming. They weren't pleased with the product. So, hey, I want to help you sell this product, but you can't sell this. This ain't the product. This isn't, you giving me a hard product to sell. And you've given me less than a year to try to sell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you cut a cancer in your locker room who, let's just say, I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. Kirk Cousins wasn't a cancer at all from what I'm told, but I tell you one daggone thing, the players wasn't rolling over and mad and angry and fired up when he wasn't here no more. When they sent Kirk packing, the players were like, welcome Alex. They didn't lose no sleep. So DJ gets cut and his teammates are in an uproar. Okay? Not saying Kirk was a cancer, because he absolutely was not. But what I'm saying is when you are getting a reaction out of the people who are with this player or with this person, and the reaction isn't favorable on the organization, how about you should have just handled that a different way, or you just wait and don't fire a man on Christmas Eve, period. Mm-hmm. Then the day after Christmas, you letting your head executives of marketing, the ones that were supposed to change this organization around, you didn't even give them a year to try to get this right. That is a problem. That is a problem. That is an issue. A for real issue. How are people supposed to work like that? You can't work like that. How can you be productive? Listen, every conversation ain't gonna be roses and rainbows. Every conversation is not roses and rainbows. None of them these my friends in here. They may tell me something about myself. I didn't want to hear that. I didn't like it. But guess what? They didn't like something I did. So we can have this conversation. It's only to get better. I mean, come on. I'm trying to get on the computer. Hold on. Let me see if my Redskins family has anybody chimed in. Anybody chimed in? Let me try to pull it up here. Because they got me going, Redskins family. I was like, what? I mean, what are we supposed to do? How did we get here? All of a sudden. What are you talking about, people? You know?
Andre White said, what about Alan's comment? Seems like the locker room in a split.
Well, there definitely seems like there's some split right there. Let's jump back to Andre White just asked a question about Jonathan Allen's comment. Seems like the locker room is split on the defensive coordinator. There's obviously, and I always tell people, I feel like this is the conversation of like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah. Right? So when something goes wrong on any side of the ball, who do you blame? Do you blame the coaches or do you blame the players? Was it that the coach didn't call the right play, or was it the player's inability to execute? Only these guys know. Seems like the front seven are aligned, or the front guys, they're aligned and they're thinking, but the defensive backs, they somewhere else. They somewhere else. But you see that sometimes in the game when it appears, it's like they're confused. It's like, well, what is going on? Why is everybody so confused? What is happening? How do I know where you're supposed to be and you not? Then they had the conversation about playing man versus zone. And my thing is this: when you're playing man, okay, that's up to you to beat your opponent. And the reality is you might not be able to do that. So that is when there needs to be adjustments made to try to stop that play or to stop the opponent. Because the reality is you're not always going to be better than your opponent. You might get flat out smoked, but that doesn't mean you just lose the whole game.
That's right.
You gotta try to do something. So Jonathan Allen did want to make it clear that he didn't feel that way, and that's cool because he's entitled to his opinion. But me personally, I thought something should have been done after that Giants game. A whole bunch of people should have said goodbye after that game. But that's just me. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I can't even. What else we got here, y'all? For some reason, I can't get to everything. Avery Boy, Claudel said this is the longest relationship he's ever had. He on the verge of asking for a divorce. I don't know, Redskins fans. Listen, don't let me. Listen, I know y'all might talk and call in to certain people, and they tell y'all to hold on and be strong and stay and don't go nowhere. Listen, I ain't going to tell you do nothing. You do what you want to do. You do what you feel is best for you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's getting early. I don't have no answers. Maybe next week I have some answers. Maybe next week I have some answers, but I cannot lie to you. I love y'all too much. I can't lie like that. If you feel like you got to go, then go. And on that note, I think it's time for us to go. I think we are at our time. Next week when I see y'all, let's hope for some better news, and it will be 2019. If I find my Happy New Year hat, I'm going to wear that because I couldn't find my Santa Claus hat. So, you know. But at any rate, you all be blessed. Have a safe and blessed New Year, and I will see you all next week.
Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, doubleheaders, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip. This is